All right, so for laws of exponents, if they have the same base, so like two exponential things with the same base, follow these rules. So meaning if we're multiplying exponents with the same base, you add them. Dividing, you subtract. Power to a power, you multiply. And then a negative exponent goes into the denominator. So it goes below. So see how it's like a to the negative n. It becomes positive n, but it's under 1. So for example, I think this is actually on your quiz. If I have the coefficients 5 and 3, that I'm going to actually multiply like normal. So it would just be 15 times 3, which equals 45. But then when I look at, am I able to change colors? Nope. Okay. That's fine. Oh, here's the colors. But then if I'm looking at the A's, so I have A9 and A16. No, A0 and A16. Anything to the power of 0 is 1. So that would just be A16. There we go. But if I'm now looking at the B's, so now I'm going to take a look at those B's. I have B2 and B negative 29. So I'm going to have B2, and then I'm just going to be adding them. So plus negative 29. And that's where I can use Desmos. So I can just take those exponents, 2 plus negative 29, and I get negative 26. Oh, sorry, negative 27, I mean. And because it's a negative exponent, it's actually going to go into the denominator. So it's going to go down below, just like right here. So B27. And then my last one is just that C for 34, but then times 0. So 34 plus 0 is still 34. All right, let's take a look at the division one with an exponent. So right here I have a power to a power. So I'm going to actually take care of that first. So first I'm going to have my power to my power, which is this rule right here. And I'm going to have 3 squared, which is just going to be 3 times 3. So the coefficients, I just do what I would normally, and that's 9. But then my x squared would be x squared. And my y squared would be y squared. And I still have all of this over 36 x to the power of 4, y to the power of 5. So I still have this right up on top. So first I would do my 36 divided by 9. So I'm going to treat it like normal. So there's my coefficient of 9, which is 4. So right away, actually, I find my correct answer because there's a coefficient of 4. Then I'm going to subtract my x's. So I'm now going to take the x to the power of 4. And when I divide, I'm really subtracting. And I'm going to take 4 and subtract 2 to get x to the power of 2. And I'm going to do the same thing with the y. So y to the power of 5. So it'd be y power of 5 minus 2, which is y cubed. All right, so if I'm looking at my Desmos, the coefficients have to be just by the numbers in front, and those follow the same properties. So meaning if I'm multiplying, they're just going to be multiplied. Whereas the X variables in this case need to be added because when you multiply two exponents, that would be adding. Same with the Y variables, it'd be 5 plus 1 because when you multiply, you're adding. Whereas on this one, I'm going to first make sure I multiply. So here I need to make sure I multiply first. And then I would, well, I have a power to a power, which means to multiply. So -2 times 2. Times 2. So I should get x -4, x to the power of -4. And then I would have my y's would be -3 times 2, which would give me a y to the power of -6. So I've gone ahead and I've taken care of raising them to a power, but then I would need to make sure I multiply by x and y2. So when I multiply, it would be like adding. So right here, I would be adding 1. Oops. Okay, it doesn't let me. So right here, I would be adding 1 from this exponent here. So -4 plus 1. So that would be power of -3, which would put it down below. And right here, I have -6. So I would have -6 plus 2. So those are my, my y's, and I would get -4, which would also be down below. So it would be B. All right, this is probably the most tricky one, so I'll show this to you and that will be the end. So first I want to grab my tools. Okay, so first maybe I could take care of my just regular division, which would just be 45 divided by 15, which is 3. Then I could take care of my m's. So I have -6 divided by m -2. When that happens, I have to subtract. So -6 minus -2, which is -4. Then I would take care of my p's, which is 2 and 8. So I have 2 minus 8, which is -6. And last but not least, we'll take care of the v's. And let's do red. So 12 minus -4. 12 minus -4, which is 16. And these two go down below. The M and the P need to go below and become positive. Whereas the positives are going to stay above. So we would be looking at 3V16, where the M and P go down in the denominator. All right, definitely get some more practice on this. And if you need any help, let me know.